You wake up, you snooze the alarm. When you finally decide to get up, you pick up your phone, you scroll for an hour, then you finally get out of bed, you do your morning routine, and you've started the day, but you're already operating at low energy levels, and you're feeling depressed and kind of miserable because now you have to get through the entire day with barely any energy. I feel you. We live in a society that's constantly feeding us stimulation, dopamine, every corner, left, right, and center. There's some form of stimulation and dopamine. You just can't escape it at this point. And I used to think I was lazy because I couldn't control my thoughts. I just couldn't focus on one task for even 30 minutes. But the truth is, it's not our fault. We live in a society that is just completely overstimulating, and even the best of us fail most of the time. I, and probably you as well, wake up feeling foggy in the head, as if like your thoughts are just kind of scrambled because your attention is being pulled left, right, and center. And the truth is, you're not tired, you're just overstimulated. Our baseline levels are now all the way up here. Like, we are not able to just sit down and be comfortable with our own thoughts. I've been trying to read more, and you're probably trying to read more too. But the thing is, we just can't seem to find the time. It's like we want to read, but there's always more work to do. Right? We get the work, we start doing the work, but because our attention spans are shortening by the day, a task that should really take us 2 hours ends up taking us 7-8 hours, right? And it's almost like we're not making any progress in life. So I guess this is an issue that we need to figure out. Firstly, if this relates to you, I just want to say that it's not your fault. Don't be hard on yourself. We live in a society that is literally designed, engineered to steal your attention. Happens to the best of us, so don't be hard on yourself. I literally saw my grandma the other day. She was on her phone, scrolling TikTok. It's like, I don't know what generation she is. I don't know, Gen X, Boomer, I don't know. But she's old, right? And she grew up in a time where social media wasn't a thing. She grew up in a time where she was allowed to develop her brain without being overly stimulated. And even she's hooked. She's hooked just like the rest of us. So no matter how much willpower you think you have, social media is probably getting to you too. And there's nothing wrong with that. We just need to find techniques to work with it, not try and resist it, right? Because the algorithms, they're too good. They're too good. Like, we just gotta be smart. So what I've realized about thoughts and like just having control over your thoughts is that original thoughts need empty space, right? Since most people are constantly on their phones, constantly on social media, no one really thinks originally anymore, right? Everyone is constantly fed propaganda and their algorithms are curated in a very specific way, right? So that means that most people don't actually have their own opinions and they don't have their own free will, really. Because if you're not really in control of your thoughts, are you really in control of yourself? So honestly, I think a good exercise to do is, one, obviously to start reading. If you haven't been reading, you gotta start reading, bro. Like, even just 10 minutes a day can really help you out. And when you're in that quiet space, like that, having that quiet time, right? I want you to create something. You can be like me, you can create videos, content, but you don't need to create content. You don't need to create something that people can see. Even just writing, maybe a painting or journaling or meditating, writing a poem, something like that. But we need to be creating more than we're consuming, because if we're not doing that, that's when we start to lose control of our minds, right? And obviously we don't want that. We have to be putting things out into the world. I read somewhere that the opposite of depression is expression. That's quite powerful to hear. And honestly, that kind of does make sense. Because if I look at the most expressive people in society, right, you rarely see them sad. You rarely see them looking miserable. Because if that saying really is true, then they are at the highest form of happiness. And before you say, oh, I'm not a creative person, everyone on this earth has a creative side to them. It just looks differently. Yours could literally just be having intellectual debates, interesting conversations. That could be your creative side. But every human being has a creative side to them. There's two sides of the brain. One is for creative thinking, one is for logical thinking. Every healthy human being has both. So yeah, you do have it in yourself to be creative. You just need to find an outlet for that. And the reason why I think this is so important is because obviously it would be easy for me to just tell you, just throw your phone in the bin, don't use your phone again, completely detached from social media, but that's unrealistic. I'm a creator myself. I create videos. If I detach from social media, you wouldn't even be able to hear me talking. Like, social media is so ingrained in our lives that we can't just leave. So we have to find ways to combat it from within, right? We need to find ways to fight it without removing it from our lives, because that's not realistic. So I think expression is probably the best way to do that, because it kind of like neutralizes the effect of constant dopamine on your mind. And it's really, really important that we start doing this now, because it can get really, really bad. Because there's been times where I'm a young guy, right? But there's been times where I literally just lose my train of thought. It's not just your standard losing your train of thought. Like, I just lose complete. I'm like, why? What was I even doing just before this? Like, literally, it's so bad to the point where, let's say I wanted to go onto YouTube to find a video. I literally look away from the main homepage, because I know if I look at the homepage, I'm gonna see a video with a crazy thumbnail that's gonna make me click. That's how difficult it is to resist nowadays. Like, so I feel like the best way is to just combat it from within. That we can't really get rid of the effects on us. So the best we can do is just do actions that reduce the impact on us. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, but just remember, try to create more than you consume, and expression is the opposite of depression.